Chosen one, lean in. This moment is not ordinary. This very breath you are taking is charged with destiny. You have been wandering with weight on your shoulders, carrying invisible chains that others could not see, yet you felt them every single day. Chains of fear, chains of doubt, chains of betrayal, chains of delay. They tried to hold you down, but tonight heaven whispers a different decree. The chains are falling, and you are being set free. You are not here by accident. Something inside you already knows this. You have sensed that a shift is coming, that something hidden is about to break open, that your life has been leading up to this very hour. You've endured long nights, cried silent tears, walked through shadows that seemed endless. But God says, enough. The season of captivity is over. The season of freedom is now. Listen carefully, because this word is not for everyone. It is for you. Not the crowd, not the curious, but for the called, for the chosen. You are rare. You are marked. The fingerprints of heaven are all over your story. The enemy thought he could bury you, but he only planted you. And now, the roots have gone deep, and the fruit will begin to show. You will not remain in the same place. This night marks the turning. The old is breaking, the new is rising. Can you feel it? That trembling in your spirit, that sudden stirring in your chest. It is not anxiety. It is the sound of your chains loosening. You have been bound for too long to fear, to cycles that repeated again and again. But the divine hand has reached into your timeline, snapped the lock, and declared, "This one belongs to me." You are stepping into a freedom no man, no system, no enemy can revoke. And hear this: what is falling from you will shock those around you. They were used to seeing you confined, limited, silenced. They built their expectations around your bondage. But when they see you walk out strong, radiant, unshaken, they will know something greater than man's effort has touched your life. You will be a living testimony, a walking prophecy fulfilled. Stay close, because in the next moments, I will reveal what God is breaking, what He is building, and the exact signs that will confirm your freedom. But for now, know this: you are not just hearing words, you are standing at the threshold of release. The chains are falling. God is setting you free. What you are sensing in this very moment is not imagination, not coincidence, not some random flicker of emotion. It is the Spirit of the living God drawing closer, pressing upon your heart, confirming with fire what words alone could never prove. This release is not man-made. It does not come from positive thinking or self-help slogans. It is the decree of heaven itself, and when heaven speaks, earth must bow, chains must break, and destinies must realign. For too long, you thought maybe you had to fight this battle by yourself, as though freedom depended only on your strength. But the truth is greater, deeper, more powerful. God Himself is stepping into your story. His voice, His presence, His authority is the source of what you feel rising. No weapon could silence His decree. No accusation could override His judgment. When He says, "You are free," nothing in creation has the power to contradict Him. And so it begins. Not a suggestion, not a possibility, but a divine certainty. You were destined to hear this word tonight. Out of all the noise that fills your days, this message pierced through because it carries the seal of the one who formed you. Before you were in your mother's womb, He knew you. Before you ever cried your first cry, He called you. And before you ever stumbled under the weight of those chains, He had already planned the day of your release. That day is now. It may feel unreal, almost too good to believe, but lean in and let your heart taste the truth. You are not being set free to wander aimlessly. Freedom is not the end, it is the beginning. This breaking of chains is the doorway into the life that was always written for you. The life that was hidden under layers of lies, betrayals, and battles. Every tear, every setback, every delay was not wasted. They have been counted, stored, and now transformed into fuel for what comes next. Feel the authority behind these words. This is not human encouragement. This is the echo of eternity, touching your present moment. Heaven's court has ruled in your favor. The judge of all creation has struck his gavel and declared, "Release this one. Let them go. The time of captivity has expired." That sound is still reverberating in the unseen, shaking the foundations that once held you bound. This is why you feel lighter already. This is why peace is beginning to spread through your chest like a quiet fire. You may not see every detail yet, but the announcement has been made. You are hearing it in real time. The God who parts seas, who tears prison doors wide open, who resurrects the dead, is the same God who now moves for you. The story is shifting. The night is ending. The first light of freedom is rising, and it will not be put out. Stay attentive, because what comes next will reveal the depth of this prophecy. Soon, the veil will lift, and the full vision of what God is releasing will unfold before you. The promise is not vague. It is exact, specific, timed with divine precision. Keep listening. The prophecy is about to be unveiled. The air around you has shifted. You've noticed it in small ways. The strange quiet in moments that once felt heavy. The sense that something is stirring just beyond sight. That stirring is not random. It is the tremor of chains falling. It is the prophecy breaking open. Hear it clearly now. You are stepping out of confinement into a season of release, so profound it will feel as if the earth itself moved beneath your feet. God is declaring a reversal, a breaking, a sudden turning in your favor. What once gripped, you will no longer hold. The cycles that repeated for years are being shattered. The locks that sealed doors are snapping open. You have been carried through the furnace, but the fire did not consume you. Instead, it refined you, and now heaven speaks. The refinement is complete, the captivity is ended, and the appointed time of freedom has arrived. Like Paul and Silas in the midnight hour, your praise has become a weapon, and the prison foundations have started to quake. Do not mistake this for a gentle shift. This is an earthquake in the spirit. Every chain forged against you is losing its strength. Every voice that mocked your breakthrough is about to be silenced by what God Himself will perform. You will walk forward and realize that the very walls which once boxed you in have collapsed, not by your striving, but by divine command. It will feel like waking from a long dream, like breathing air you didn't know you were missing, like stepping out into sunlight after years underground. The prophecy is this: you will no longer be identified by what held you down. You will no longer wear the labels others placed on you in your weakest moments. Addiction will not define you. Betrayal will not define you. Delay will not define you. God is writing a new name over your life, one that testifies not of bondage, but of victory. You will be called free. You will be called redeemed. You will be called chosen, anointed, unstoppable. Those chains were never the end of your story. They were the setup for this unveiling. And it will not just be freedom in private. It will manifest in ways others cannot deny. Opportunities will open suddenly. Connections will appear without explanation. Provision will flow where there once was drought. The chains that blocked your advancement in relationships, in calling, in purpose, are dissolving. Even the chains in your mind, the thoughts that whispered you were unworthy, incapable, too broken to move forward, are being silenced. A new clarity is coming, and with it, courage that feels like fire in your bones. Look at the imagery heaven paints. A prisoner walking out, chains scattered like dust behind them. The guards struck silent, the doors standing wide. That is you. Not later, not someday far off now. This is not a distant promise. It is a present reality beginning to break into your life. The prophecy carries weight because it is already unfolding. What you feel stirring inside is proof that it has begun. But there is more. This release is not only for you, it is through you. Your freedom will ripple into the lives of others. Your testimony will become a key that unlocks others' chains. You will speak, and those words will carry weight, not because of eloquence, but because they are stamped with lived authority. The very places where you once suffered will become the altars of breakthrough for many. That is why the fight against you was so fierce, because the enemy knew your freedom would set multitudes free. So receive this prophecy with both hands open. Let it pierce through your doubt. Let it settle into your bones. You are not waiting for permission anymore. Heaven has already given it. You are free, and this freedom is irreversible. From this moment forward, your story will never read the same again. Freedom is not just the absence of chains. It is the revelation of who you always were beneath them. That is why this release feels so heavy, so profound, because it is more than circumstantial change. It is identity restored. It is purpose uncovered. It is destiny realigned with heaven's rhythm. What you are walking into is not random. It is written. It is the fulfillment of promises that seemed delayed, but were never denied. Every chain that held you carried a message. This is who you are not. And now, as those chains fall, the truth is rising. Understand this. In the kingdom of God, nothing is wasted. The nights you thought were lost, the years you thought stolen, the tears no one else saw, all of them are seeds. They fell into the soil of your spirit. And though buried, they were never dead. The enemy tried to convince you that buried meant gone, that silence meant forgotten. But the truth is that buried things grow. Seeds sprout in hidden places. Roots stretch deep where eyes cannot see. And now, those hidden roots are breaking the surface. Your captivity was soil, and your freedom is the harvest. Think of Israel in Egypt, 400 years under the weight of slavery. But every year of bondage prepared the cry, the groan, the desperate hunger for God's deliverance. And when the time came, the chains did not just fall, they shattered publicly. The Red Sea did not part in secret. The pillar of fire did not guide them quietly. Their freedom was loud, undeniable, witnessed by enemies and allies alike. So it is with you. What God does in you will not be hidden forever. The depth of your suffering has carved out the depth of your testimony. The heavier the chain, the louder the sound when it breaks. This is the meaning of your journey. Storms come not to drown you, but to train you to walk on water. Fires rise not to consume you, but to refine you until the gold shines. Valleys stretch not to bury you, but to teach you the echo of God's voice in the low places. Every image heaven gives the light breaking the night, the locked door swinging wide. The desert suddenly blooming, they all point to the same truth. God brings beauty from ashes, freedom from prisons, life from death. You are walking proof of resurrection power. And notice the timing. Chains rarely fall when you expect. They fall at midnight, when hope feels dim, when your strength feels gone. Midnight is not only the darkest hour, it is also the tipping point, the first second of a new day. That is why breakthrough often feels like breaking. The very moment you think you cannot endure another step is the moment the shift begins. Midnight births morning. Your chains fell not because of your perfection, but because heaven's timing is perfect. God chooses the midnight hour to show that his power is not limited by circumstances or clocks. So take courage. The depth of this release is not shallow. It is not surface-level relief. It is transformation from the inside out. The chains were external, but the freedom is internal. No one can strip it from you because it is not circumstantial, it is spiritual. And when freedom is spiritual, it bleeds into every layer of life. Your thoughts, your relationships, your decisions, your opportunities. Watch, as even the way you see yourself begins to change. You will notice the weight gone, the shame silenced, the confidence rising. That is not arrogance, it is alignment. It is heaven's truth replacing hell's lies. But here lies a mystery. The chains falling are also invitations. Every chain broken is a door opening. Freedom is not passive, it demands movement. You cannot stay in the same place once the locks are undone. When Peter's prison doors opened in the book of Acts, he had to walk out. He had to move. So it is with you. The falling of chains is the sound of an invitation. Will you step into the new territory? Will you claim the inheritance waiting on the other side? This is the depth of the prophecy. The chains were not only barriers, they were teachers. They showed you your resilience. They showed you the God who kept you when you thought you would break. And now, because of them, you will value your freedom in ways you never could have otherwise. Chains teach appreciation. Freedom teaches responsibility. Together, they form the foundation for the new life unfolding before you. Do you see it now? Your captivity was never the final word. It was the setup, the soil, the shadow that makes the light even brighter. This release is not shallow, it is sacred. It is heaven's signature on your life, declaring that nothing wasted, nothing stolen, nothing broken can stop the destiny written for you. The chains are not just falling, they are testifying. Every link that hits the ground is a declaration. You are free, you are chosen, you are rising. You may be wondering, how will I know this freedom is real? How will I recognize that the chains have truly fallen? Listen closely, because God never releases a word without leaving signs to confirm it. These signs are not abstract, they will appear in your daily life. Subtle at first, but unmistakable when you lean in with spiritual eyes. They are heaven's fingerprints. evidence that the unseen is manifesting in the seen. The first sign is peace that makes no sense. You will notice that the same situations that once stirred anxiety now feel strangely quiet. Where panic used to rise, calm will settle instead. This peace is not manufactured. It is supernatural. It will surprise you. You may even catch yourself waiting for the old fear to return, but it won't. That stillness is confirmation that chains around your mind have been broken. The second sign is doors opening where there were only walls. Opportunities will emerge in areas long closed to you. Conversations that once went silent will suddenly reappear. A job, a connection, a relationship, something you thought was out of reach will present itself, not by manipulation, but by divine timing. The locks are gone, and the pathways are clear. When the impossible begins to feel possible, know the chains have fallen. The third sign is old temptations losing their grip. The cycles that used to pull you under will no longer carry the same weight. Where once you felt powerless, now you will sense strength. The cravings, the patterns, the familiar traps, they will seem weaker, less persuasive, almost foreign. That shift is not you becoming stronger by willpower. It is heaven stripping the chains of their authority over you. The fourth sign is opposition rising, but only as confirmation. When the children of Israel left Egypt, Pharaoh chased after them. Freedom always provokes resistance. But notice this: the enemy's pursuit did not stop their deliverance. It accelerated their miracle. The Red Sea only parted because Pharaoh pressed in. So when you see sudden resistance after breakthrough, don't panic. It is a sign that you are walking into your promise, and the enemy is powerless to stop it. The fifth sign is unexpected joy. Not surface happiness, but joy that bubbles up even in ordinary or difficult moments. You will find yourself laughing again, dreaming again, imagining again. The heaviness that weighed down your spirit will begin to lift, and in its place, joy will pour in like sunlight after storm clouds break. That joy is not temporary. It is the evidence of chains broken in your soul. Watch for these signs. They may come one by one or all at once. They will not always be loud, but they will be clear. Peace, open doors, weakened temptations, opposition that cannot hold you, joy that cannot be explained. These are heaven's signals, telling you, freedom has begun, the prophecy is unfolding, and the chains are truly falling. Freedom is real, but freedom is also tested. When chains fall, it does not mean the path ahead will be free of obstacles. In fact, the very proof of your release often comes in the form of trials designed not to destroy you, but to strengthen you. These hidden challenges are not punishments, they are confirmations. They refine your faith, sharpen your vision, and prepare you to carry the weight of the blessing that follows. The first challenge you may face is the temptation to return to what once held you. Like Israel in the wilderness longing for Egypt, you may hear whispers telling you it was easier back then, safer when you were bound, simpler when you didn't stretch for more. These voices will come from your own doubts, from people around you, even from the enemy trying to disguise captivity as comfort. But remember, chains feel familiar, not because they are good, but because you wore them for so long. Familiarity is not freedom. Do not mistake the call of the past for the safety of the present. The second challenge is loneliness. When chains break, not everyone around you celebrates. Some will withdraw because they preferred you weak. Some will distance themselves because your freedom convicts their bondage. You may feel isolated for a time, walking out of prisons others are still trapped in. Do not let that isolation convince you you're wrong. It is the cost of being chosen for release. Better to walk alone in freedom than to remain surrounded in chains. The third challenge is delay between promise and fulfillment. Yes, the chains have fallen, but the full picture of freedom takes time to unfold. Joseph was freed from prison in a moment, but his destiny in the palace required a process. You may feel tension as you step out of captivity, but wait for the fullness of the promise to manifest. In those in-between moments, frustration can rise. Do not despise the waiting. It is where your character deepens and your preparation is completed. The fourth challenge is spiritual resistance. Freedom threatens the enemy's plans, and he does not let go without a fight. Expect moments of warfare, unexpected opposition, or sudden waves of discouragement. But know this: resistance is a sign of movement. The enemy only fights what he fears. The very presence of opposition is proof that you are advancing. And the final hidden challenge is your own self-image. Years of chains leave marks on the soul. Even when the shackles fall, you may still feel them rattling in your memory. Thoughts may whisper that you are still bound, still unworthy, still too broken. But these are shadows, not realities. Freedom requires you to renew your mind, to see yourself not as you were, but as heaven calls you. You are not a prisoner learning to survive. You are a child of God learning to reign. So when these challenges come, do not be surprised. See them for what they are, tests that confirm the reality of your release. The chains have fallen, the freedom is real, and every challenge ahead is not a setback, it is training ground for the destiny that waits on the other side. Freedom is not the end of the story, it is the beginning of a new chapter. The chains falling from your life mark the threshold of responsibility. Now that the doors are open, what you do next matters. God is not only setting you free, He is instructing you in how to remain free, how to flourish in freedom, and how to walk as a testimony to others. Hear these instructions with the same weight as you heard the prophecy itself, for they are your roadmap to what comes next. The first instruction is this: guard your mind. Freedom begins in the spirit, but it is sustained in the mind. You cannot carry old thought patterns into a new season. Replace every lie you once believed with the truth of God's word. When the enemy whispers, "You are still bound," counter with the truth: "Whom the Son sets free is free indeed." Speak it out loud if you must. Let your ears hear your mouth declare what heaven has already decreed. Transformation begins when you discipline your thoughts to agree with heaven, not with fear. The second instruction: cultivate daily intimacy with God. Chains fall in His presence, and chains stay broken in His presence. This is not a season to drift, to get comfortable, to neglect prayer. This is a season to draw near. Make space each day, even in simple moments, to listen, to worship, to dwell in His word. Freedom is not just about moving out of something, it's about moving into someone. God did not free you just to give you options. He freed you to bring you closer to Himself. The third instruction: walk boldly in obedience. Every act of obedience is a declaration of freedom. Do not wait until everything looks perfect before you step out. Move when He says move. Speak when He says speak. Release what He says release. Obedience keeps you in alignment with heaven's flow, and alignment ensures protection. If He calls you to leave behind relationships, habits, or even environments that kept you bound, do not delay. Your obedience today safeguards your destiny tomorrow. The fourth instruction: protect your atmosphere. What you consume, who you spend time with, the voices you allow near your spirit, these things shape your future. In this new season, you cannot afford to be careless with your atmosphere. Surround yourself with people who celebrate your freedom, not those who try to drag you back into chains. Fill your home with worship, not with noise. Let your environment reflect the liberty God has given you, so that every space you enter reinforces what heaven has already declared. The fifth instruction: testify. Speak of what God has done for you. Share your story, even in pieces, with those who need to hear it. Your testimony is not just about you, it is a weapon. Revelation declares that we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. Every time you testify, you reinforce your freedom and unlock faith in someone else. Silence keeps chains alive. Testimony breaks them. And finally, the sixth instruction: prepare for enlargement. Freedom is not only personal, it is generational. The ground God has given you is meant to be cultivated, expanded, and multiplied. Begin to think bigger than yourself. Pray over your family, your community, your future. Ask God to show you how your liberty will ripple outward, touching those who never imagined breakthrough was possible. The same God who broke your chains intends to use your life as a key for others. Do not take these instructions lightly. They are not suggestions. They are sacred tools, divine weapons placed in your hands to ensure that what God has begun will continue. Freedom is fragile if left unattended, but unstoppable when guarded by obedience and intimacy. If you follow these steps, guard your mind, draw close to God, obey boldly, protect your atmosphere, testify often, and prepare for enlargement, you will not only remain free, you will flourish in ways you never dreamed. The chains are gone, the path is open. Now walk it with faith, with courage, and with unwavering trust. This is your divine instruction. This is your manual for freedom. Take it, live it, and watch as God multiplies what He has begun in you. Rest now in this truth. You are not walking into freedom unguarded. The one who shattered your chains is the same, one who surrounds you with protection. You are not stepping into open territory alone. You are encircled by a presence stronger than anything that could rise against you. Every step you take is shadowed by angels. Every breath you draw is wrapped in divine covering. Every path ahead is lit by fire that no darkness can extinguish. You may not always feel it, but protection is not dependent on your feelings. It is rooted in His promise. Remember the words, "The Lord is your refuge and your fortress, your God in whom you trust." A fortress is not built overnight, and it is not built weak. It is high, thick, impenetrable. That is what surrounds you now. Heaven has erected invisible walls around your life. Walls that sickness cannot penetrate. Walls that betrayal cannot collapse. Walls that fear cannot scale. What once had access to you is being cut off at the root. Imagine it. A shield before you, a guard behind you, wings spread over you like a canopy. This is why the arrows of discouragement miss their mark. This is why storms break but do not destroy. Because you are covered, you are carried, you are sealed under the watch of the Almighty. Even when you sleep, He does not. Even when you falter, He does not. Even when enemies conspire in secret, their plans dissolve under His watchful gaze. And hear this reassurance. Your freedom will not be stolen. The enemy may try to intimidate, to roar like a lion, but the Lion of Judah is greater. He has already declared ownership over your life. No chain can reattach itself where God has cut it off. No door can be closed once heaven has opened it. No curse can land where blessing has been spoken. You are protected not only from what you see, but from what you cannot see. The battles fought in the unseen realms have already tipped in your favor. So walk without fear. This does not mean you will never encounter storms. It means storms will never drown you. It does not mean you will never face battles. It means every battle will end in victory. Protection does not erase struggle. It guarantees survival. And more than survival, triumph. You are covered in such a way that even the wounds you once carried are being healed under His wings. Let this assurance settle in your heart. You are not abandoned. You are not vulnerable. You are not exposed. You are wrapped in divine protection. Chains fall, yes, but shields rise. And the same God who delivered you will keep you until the day of fulfillment. Rest in that. Breathe in that. Carry that assurance into every step forward. Picture the moment when the dust of battle clears, when the sound of chains hitting the ground fades into silence, and you realize you are standing tall with nothing binding your hands, nothing weighing your feet, nothing clouding your mind. That moment is not just coming, it is already rising within you. Transformation is not a distant promise. It is a living reality beginning to reshape you from the inside out. You will not recognize yourself in the mirror of yesterday, because God is unveiling who you always were beneath the captivity. The first sign of this transformation is identity restored, where once you carried shame, now you will carry confidence. Where once you saw yourself through the eyes of failure, now you will see yourself through the eyes of grace. The old names broken, unworthy, forgotten will be replaced with new names redeemed, beloved, unstoppable. This shift is not arrogance, it is alignment. Heaven is rewriting your self-image to match the truth of your calling. The second sign is purpose ignited. Chains suffocate dreams. They whisper, don't try, don't reach, don't believe. But with chains gone, purpose breathes again. Ideas you once buried will return. Desires you thought impossible will spark alive. You will feel energy, vision, and direction rising, like fire in your bones. And with it comes momentum, small steps leading to open doors, doors leading to new seasons, seasons leading to fulfillment. What once seemed impossible will begin to unfold naturally, as though destiny itself is pulling you forward. The third sign is relationships realigned. Some connections will fade because they were attached to your bondage, but others will be drawn to you because of your freedom. Healthy, life-giving, destiny-affirming people will enter your circle. You will find yourself surrounded by those who speak life, who push you higher, who celebrate your growth instead of resenting it. Community will form around your transformation, not to bind you, but to walk with you into greater promise. The fourth sign is impact multiplied. Your story will not remain private, it will echo. People will notice the change, even if you never explain it. The peace you carry, the authority in your voice, the glow on your face, these will testify louder than words. And when you do speak, when you share what God has done, chains will break for others because your testimony carries weight. You will become a living key, unlocking doors of freedom for those still trapped. The fulfillment of this prophecy is not small. It is abundant. It is overflowing. It touches every corner of your life, identity, purpose, relationships, influence. And as this transformation unfolds, gratitude will fill your soul like a river. You will look back at the nights you thought would never end and realize they were birthing this dawn. You will see that every tear watered the soil of your destiny. You will stand in awe, knowing that what once seemed impossible was always promised. And when you arrive at that moment, you will not boast in your own strength. You will lift your hands and declare, "It was God. He broke the chains. He set me free. He carried me here." That confession will seal your fulfillment. For transformation is never just about what you gain, it is about who you glorify. And in glorifying Him, you step fully into the life He always designed for you. This is your transformation. This is your fulfillment. It is closer than you realize, stronger than you imagined, and more beautiful than you dared to dream. Take a deep breath now. Let every word spoken over you settle into your spirit like living fire. The chains are not only broken, they are gone. You are walking forward, free, covered, chosen. And to anchor this truth in your heart, speak these affirmations aloud. Let them become the rhythm of your days, the sound that echoes louder than fear, louder than memory, louder than the past. Affirmation 1. I am free, and nothing can bind me again. Affirmation 2. I am protected, and no weapon formed against me will prosper. Affirmation 3. I am chosen, and my destiny is secure in God's hands. Affirmation 4. I walk in joy, in peace, and in unstoppable purpose. Let these phrases be more than words. Let them be declarations, weapons of truth in your mouth, reminders when shadows try to creep back. Repeat them in the morning, in the night, when fear whispers, when doubt knocks. Your voice carries power. Heaven backs your confession. The chains have no say where faith speaks. And now, receive this blessing. May the God who shattered your chains wrap you in unshakable peace. May He flood your path with light so clear that no shadow confuses your steps. May He send angels to guard your going out and your coming in. May your heart remain soft, yet strong, bold yet surrendered, humble yet radiant. May your life shine so brightly that others find their freedom in your flame. And may every day from this moment forward testify. The chains are gone, and freedom has come. You are not walking out of this word the same. Something eternal has shifted. Heaven has written it, your spirit has received it, and your future will prove it. The sound of broken chains is still ringing in the unseen, and every echo declares the same reality. You are free, you are chosen, you are unstoppable. Walk forward now, not in fear, not in hesitation, but in bold confidence that God Himself has set you loose for His glory. Carry this blessing with you. Rest in it, rise in it, and remember always, freedom is not fragile when it is sealed by the hands of the Eternal. What God has broken, no man can repair. What God has opened, no man can shut. What God has spoken, no power can silence. You are free, forever free. Walk in it,